Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. I have the honor of interviewing Cas Hall from Australia. So, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love this.
Awesome.
I love the fact that we've got this modern technology that we can talk
Yes,
from one side of the world to the other. Yay.
technology is amazing. It's bringing us all together, and even if there's technical issues, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is, and it either works with you or it doesn't. So.
Yeah.
So, first, real quick, because I know that you said that you have been traveling all around Australia, and how has that been?
Oh, excellent. I love it. It's beautiful. I mean, it's like everything in life. It's pros and cons, but the pros far outweigh the cons. Our country's very big, and even though I knew it's very big, um, it's different when you start actually traveling it and the huge distance. Once you get into the Northern Territory and Western Australia, which is where I am now, the distance is huge. It's a lot sparse between towns or communities, but I'm also very glad to be back at the beach. My daughter and I are traveling together with two dogs, and we really, really love the beach, even though it's been absolutely just mind-boggling seeing the centre of Australia and seeing Uluru, Katajuka National Park is, if you're my generation, you would refer to maybe still Uluru as Ayers Rock, but Uluru is the Aboriginal, the Indigenous name for Ayers Rock, and it's just gorgeous. And the amazing thing about, of course, being now I was brought up on the east coast of Australia. On the west coast of Australia, of course, we get to see the sunset over the ocean instead of seeing the sunrise over the ocean on the east coast. So that's pretty mind-boggling. It's gorgeous. I've wanted to see it all my life.
Oh, that's fabulous! And you're traveling in an RV?
Caravan.
Caravan. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Actually, I find it really interesting, the RV term. It's only really creeped into Australia in recent years. In Australia, we would just literally call, oh, you're travelling around a caravan or you're travelling around a motorhome. But now we use the term, I think, that you've been using in America for quite some time, RV.
RV.
Yeah.
Yes. Gotcha. That's awesome. So I mean, like, and again, I mean, like that's the beautiful thing about this business. Like, as long as there's internet, you can be traveling anywhere, and just you have your sovereign self and exploring the nature and seeing all the beauty, and just it's exploring, observing, and learning all at the same time. So that's fabulous.
Oh gosh, yeah, and very grounding. It reminds you to live very much in the moment. You know that the only time that exists is the present, as we know it's called that for a reason. It is a gift. Life
That's
is a gift. um,
beautiful.
mm,
I love it. So my first question is, um, what was the total line in the sand moment to go all in with launching an online business?
oh yeah, I'm very possibly an interesting case because, believe it or not, my daughter actually found this business. A friend of hers had posted something on Instagram. They're the young generation coming through. So they're like the 18 and a half, 19-year-olds.
Nice.
Yeah. And so she was, very excited, and, she's telling me all about it. And I went, just, kind of listening and just going, what is she talking about? And I've done low ticket affiliate marketing before. So it's not like I'm coming from, naivety, or, I know know what she was partly talking about. And it wasn't until she actually sent me one of the webinars. She said, Mum, can you watch this so you know what I'm talking about? And it was on the compensation plan and another webinar that she sent me. And I went, okay. I was almost sold then. I thought I could already see not just the compensation plan, it was very much the energy, the community in that when I say tiny, I mean, one was probably at least 45 minutes. The other one was a lot shorter webinar. I could already tell that the community was extremely supportive. But again, having done low ticket affiliate marketing, of course, that compensation plan, I was already like, oh, okay, they actually respect people. And then the products, I think that was the other thing that possibly was my personal kind of going over the line to join. I was like, I've always believed in high quality water. We were very fortunate before that where we had rainwater tanks, where we used to live in New South Wales in Australia. So, and I used to filter that. I've always been very conscious of drinking the amount of water that you should. I was brought up basically only drinking water. I'm very grateful to both my parents, which, lucky me, they're both still alive in their 80s, particularly my mum, that, you drink water before you drink juice or soft drink. And that was, and that's been my whole philosophy, my whole life. And we've all been quite conscious in my family about having good quality water. So, of course, when I watched the webinar on the K8 or Kangen water, as we refer to it as well, I just went, yeah. And particularly when you're traveling around in an RV, but for me personally, it's a caravan, you go to different places and you're filling up from different water supplies from different towns. And you have no idea, of course, what's in that water. Some are more chlorinated and other chemicals are put in that water. And like I said, I've always been quite conscious of trying to drink best quality water. And I don't do commercial bottled water, even though a lot of people in Australia do. I think that's become a lot more prolific in Australia. It never used to be the case 15, 20 years or more. You'd hardly see any bottled plastic water in a supermarket in Australia, but now there's, shelves dedicated to that because I'm quite conscious of, not being wasteful. We use, bottles that we can refill, silicone bottles or stainless steel, aluminium water bottles that we carry with us, including in the car and the caravan. So we top up with the now Kangen water.
Nice. Now, how does it work in the caravan? Like
Yeah.
especially traveling with it and hooking it up and everything.
It's really, really easy. Much easier than when I thought, because of course we have videos that teach you how to set it up, but no one's done a video in caravan yet. I have posted my videos, and of course each caravan or RV is going to be slightly different depending on your spout or facet in your caravan, but it was really, really easy. I did have to buy one little adapter because our spout faucet is quite small. It's like a tiny round circle. I don't know if you can see that. So I did have to buy from ENAGIC a little adapter. I got that sent express post over to here to Broome, just so we can then fit the diverter, so it runs through your normal tap water for when you're doing other things, and then run through the K8 machine. But even before that, we managed to just clamp on the hoses and adapt, and then when we pack it away, it just goes in a little fold down kind of like box, and we just pad it with one of our blankets here, and it goes on the floor. The nest bar, because I started with four fingers. I started with quad. We started with quad, so we got the Anespa as well. That was extremely the setup, and it just sits down in the bottom of our shower here in our little caravan. and I love
Well,
it.
yes, and the Inespa is the shower unit that it's like showering in like a mineral spa because it has mineral rocks that takes the chlorine out of the um, out of the water, and it's just amazing. So and it's so easy to hook up. It's
Oh,
really,
yeah,
really easy. It's
yeah, yeah,
fabulous.
yeah. It's interesting because when we're at a caravan park, which we are at the moment, we still sometimes choose to use their showers, just so if you haven't filled up your tanks, of course, in your caravan. And they're a little bit more roomier, but I still prefer showering in here when I can, even at a caravan park, and I have done that before at one of the other caravan parks because I can feel the difference on my skin. With the Nespa, it's a lot more silky, it's moisturised, whereas just a normal shower or caravan park shower, I find it a little bit more drying on my skin. So that's just my personal experience of going back to normal water flowing through a shower compared to having a shower in the Nespa.
Mhm. No, you definitely feel the difference.
Mm.
You definitely feel the difference on your skin, especially like, if you're in tune with your body. Like I definitely
Mm.
feel the difference if I'm showering someplace else, for
Oh,
sure.
oh, oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, getting back to the K8, the same as, we both use the beauty water. We basically use all the main functions, but the beauty water I think has made a huge difference. I also rinse with the 2.8, 2.5, sorry, pH. After I clean my teeth, I'm finding that making a huge difference. My teeth feel a lot cleaner. I think they're getting a lot more white. Even though I don't drink a lot of things that stain my teeth, of course, with age. I've found that then, they're not as white. And of course, I only use natural toothpaste. But yeah, I find that has made a huge difference as well. Rinsing after cleaning my teeth. The beauty water, most definitely. I feel different on my skin. Slowly but surely, I find that, what do you call it? Because I'm quite freckly and I've got a mixed skin. I'm not quite fair skin, but I still freckle. And it probably evened out my skin tone a little bit more as well. Even though I'm still, well and truly going out in the sun, and of course it's our spring here. In Broome, it might as well be summer. Your days are already well and truly over 30 degrees Celsius. Sorry, I don't know how to convert that to Fahrenheit for the Americans.
Nice. Yes. Well, it's hot. So 0 degrees. 0 degrees. I know that 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So yes, it's it's getting hot in Australia for sure.
Oh gosh,
So
yeah.
my second question is, what were your transitions from the start of creating an online business to what you have learned so far?
Oh gosh, I've learned a hell of a lot in a very, very short period of time because we only joined about 6 weeks ago, and of
Oh,
course, yeah,
awesome.
and the 90-day acceleration masterclass, as you were doing.
Mhm.
Are you doing the 90 days, or you've done one before?
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
done a couple of before, and they're amazing. It's
yeah.
amazing,
So
and it's just holding you accountable, and just doing it with the community. It's fabulous.
yeah. So being very new and then jumping into a 90-day acceleration masterclass it's been a huge, huge learning curve. Personally, um, working back at my self-confidence, my self-esteem, having belief in myself. I've done some self-work over the years, on and off, which has no doubtly helped me be in tune a lot more. But it's just nice to go, this is a reminder. It's really important, I think, to always grow, regardless of whether you're 18, 30, 35, 40, 45, in your 50s, in your 60s, in your 70s, 80s. until, you know, the day that we leave this earth. I do believe that that's one of our main purpose as human beings, is to always learn, always be respectful. And business wise, yeah, again, huge learning curve. Oh my God, you know, learning to keep up to date with Instagram, being my generation and initially being more of a Facebook person. I found, what do you mean? What stories on Instagram? Because I was a bit slack, not really watching stories. And of course, traveling around, we've been enjoying wherever we are in Australia, full on. Uh, so yeah, that's been a big learning curve, and being part of the TFE, which is the Freedom Era Academy. In our back office, we have a huge amount of training and master classes from people of all different professional backgrounds that can show you how to do Instagram ads, Facebook ads, or build organically. Again, work on your self-esteem, your beliefs. If you're struggling with sales hurdles or values or beliefs, you can watch masterclasses on sales, marketing, which I'm still catching up on because there's so many of them.
There's so much to learn. There's so much
Yeah.
to learn. But like, you know, my favorite quote is, the minute that you start learning, you die, because like it's never too late. It's never too late. And I mean, like, you know, this is perfect to transition into the next question. Like, what can you share from your experience to help people see how important it is to do what brings you joy?
Oh God, yeah. I think you most definitely do. And once you get older, it's, well, start doing it. Live now. I don't care what age you are. I think it's extremely important to do what's important to you. What's your passion? You know, mine is traveling. So this business is going to set me forward to be able to, as we talked earlier, be able to do it online when I go overseas after, you know, finishing traveling around Australia, and still work this business. But yeah, please just, yeah, live your life now. It's so incredibly important, because you just don't know. You know, we've all got this gift, and we may live until we're in our 80s or 90s or even 100. You know, if you know, God, the Lord, um, sees it. But yes, this gives an absolutely opportunity, and you're surrounded by a like-minded community that's extremely supportive, and we've all got different goals. Like I said, mine is traveling. Mine is very much to build the business up, so I have the money to fly my mum business class to England. You know, that's one of my whys. But you know, your journey might be different than mine. Your goals might be different than mine, but just go out there and live it. Please don't stay in that 9 to 5 job. I mean, I'm not a classical background of 9 to 5 job anyway. I used to work in the film and television industry. So I think I've always known that about myself, that I knew that I wasn't year after year, always working for the same boss that tells you what to do. I mean, I've heard some stories even recently on Instagram of a lady going through menopause, and because she was going through the brain fog, which some women can go through, you know, she basically would lose her job in that normal 9 to 5 work environment. Um, and I just think that's awful. Why are we still? Why are some people still slogging it out there, working for someone else to hope to get a retirement package when they're 60 something or 70 something, and that's if heaven forbid they've got the money or they're still alive. Yeah, please follow your passion.
Definitely. Now, what you said you were in the film and industry. So I mean, like, you know, when you started traveling, like, were you still
No,
working in that?
No, I hardly did any once I had children. So in 20 odd years, I didn't do much. I did go back on a production last year and the year before, but that was very unusual for me. So previous to starting traveling, it was a bookkeeper, and then before that, I actually ran my own brick and mortar business. It was a windsock business, so those cone shaped windsocks that you see at airports, but smaller and decorative things that people just put around their garden.
Okay.
Look, it was at times, I mean, it was still great in the fact that I had flexibility. I could be there for my children, but money wise, it paid the bills. It wasn't what we call, there was no leverage in it. There was no duplication and not a lot of support. It was just me running it, doing the sales, doing the marketing, and literally cutting out the windsocks. I wouldn't sew them all together. I had a seamstress for that. So yeah, but like I said, it was just paying the bills. It nowhere has any, that sort of business didn't have any progression to grow unless I took the manufacturing offshore, which I was never going to do. It was a company that was Australian-made products. So I sold that company, and yeah, I just thought, no, wouldn't go back to what we call a brick and mortar, normal small business again. And
No,
I think
this is so much better because, like, we're doing it at our own pace. You do it at your own pace, and you move however fast that you want to move. If you want to take it, take it at your own pace. If you want to go fast and do whatever it takes to hit legacy income, which is like, it goes from 1A to 6A and beyond. And beyond. But I mean, just to, no matter what, no matter how long it takes, it's totally worth it because you'll always have that income. Once you hit legacy, you'll always have that income on a monthly basis for the rest of your life, which you can will off to your children or your family or friends, whomever. So I mean, like, it's so incredibly important, and that's the most important thing, is to not get wrapped up into like, oh my gosh, I got to do this like now. No, it's your business. You're building a business, so it's just step by step. Like, you're growing and you're learning, and no matter how long it takes, it's totally worth it. For this.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Because like I said, everyone's got a different journey in life, and everyone's got different needs, wants, desires, and whys. Other stuff that's going on in their life, how much trauma they may have had in their life. So that, sometimes it takes, of course, possibly longer for people when they're going through this program, because as we said, there's a lot of self-confidence work that you get to do, training and support to work on yourself. And of course, if you've had trauma or whatever issues that may arise, that takes time. You've got to be kind to yourself. And everyone, like I said, everyone's got a different journey. Their path is, like you said, some do slow, medium, some do extremely fast, and that meant to be for them in that given moment in time.
Mm-hmm. Right, and it's important not to compare yourself either. Not to compare yourself and have that FOMO of like fear of missing out, because like, oh my gosh, they're over here and I'm over here, and how is that possible? No, who cares? It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So you just go at your own pace, and it's totally worth it. And the community is absolutely amazing, and you just meet like amazing, beautiful people from all over the world. So it's a win-win situation for everything. So.
For everyone, yeah. It's also interesting that the majority of us are women. I mean, we've got still a huge amount of men that are involved in this community, and when I say community, I'm also referring back to TFE. There are other and ENAGIC communities all around the world, so their teams or communities could be more men than females. So again, I'm just referring back to the TFE community is probably about 70% or so
Yeah.
of women, which I do get. I think we've come back. We come very much more into our empowerment as women. So there's a lot more women out there going, this is achievable, this is what I want, I'm taking control of my finances, my life, my independence. And that's not taking away anything from if you're in a relationship or a marriage, etc. That's not what I'm saying is that your independence can still be more than fulfilling and abundant even when you're in a partnership and a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I
Definitely.
hope that makes sense.
Definitely, I agree for sure. So, well, thank you so much for being on. And if this is calling to you, then please get in contact with myself or with Cas Hall. And we are here to show you what it's all about. So thank you so much. Wherever you're tuning in from, have a wonderful evening, day, morning, wherever you are tuning in from. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful month and year and rest of the end of the year.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.